Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Nexus Gaming Series. I am Jason, and today we've got a heroic division playoff match coming at you. We've got Nsomnia versus Modo as we finish out the first round of our playoffs. The winner of this match will go into the winners brackets to face off against Abusement Park this upcoming week. So should be very interested to see these two teams, 4th and 5th seed out of the heroic division, ready to square off. And it looks like for map number 1, we're going to be going to Infernal Shrines. This will be a best of 3 series, and should be a lot of fun to watch. I've been taking a look at the standings and the system that we're going to be having here for this first set of playoff rounds. And of course, we did have already the first match for the first round earlier here in Heroic Division, and that was Revive Esports versus Montreal Style Bagels. Revive ended up winning that series 2-0 over MSB, and so they're going to go on tomorrow night to actually face off against Celeb Gaming. So we'll have a bit of a rematch there between Revive Esports and Celeb Gaming. We've seen that matchup a couple different times this season between NGS and Division S for Heroes Lounge. So should be interesting. This match, of course, going to be a good one, and the winner gets to go face the number 1 seed Abusement Park. So it'll probably be a bit of an uphill battle in that matchup for whoever comes out of this as the winner. But then there is also a secondary bracket, as this is a double elimination style tournament here for the Heroic Division. So it should be a lot of really fun games to watch, and certainly should be interesting here tonight. The lobby currently being set up. Just want to make sure we have the teams on the correct side as we get into lobby here. Yes, we do. So we're going to have Nsomnia on the left, Modo on the right. And looks like it was the map pick of Nsomnia, so Modo will end up having first pick, first ban here on Infernal Shrines. Looks like we got almost everybody in the lobby, just one more player ready to go. And yeah, of course, Infernal Shrines, very heavy wave clear map, so these teams are going to be looking for heroes not only with good wave clear, but specifically good shrine clear for the map objective. And it'll be exciting to see Modo. We haven't seen much of Modo this season, at least not live. So I'm looking forward to casting these guys. Nsomnia, I think, actually was my first cast this season. So been seeing these guys pretty much the whole season long. Heroic Division, of course, not quite as many matches as the other divisions, so be interested to see what these teams come up with. But it looks like we got all 10 in lobby and are about ready to go. Just waiting to hear back from both of the teams to make sure they are ready. And they actually have the go button, so we'll get going as soon as these guys are ready. Running a little bit late here, but I think I want to say there's a different rule set for the coin toss and map picking process based on the seeding. So I think they were figuring that out, and now it looks like they got it figured out. Maybe? I don't know. It's very quiet lobby chat. But either way, gonna be fun to see some Heroic Division matchups. I haven't been able to cast for this division a whole lot this season. We've been seeing a lot of Bahamut and Sky Bunny casting these. Of course, Baha also has been casting quite a bit for the Division S as well. So it's been really fun to see those guys casting up at the top. Him, B-Train, Mongoose. All right. So we've got the readies from both teams, and I think we are about to get started here. Let's see. And there we go. Infernal Shrines going to be our first one here. First pick, first ban, going over to Modo. Now, I'll have to see if they want to go more standard or if they're going to look to maybe try to snipe a couple of the heroes away from Nsomnia that they like. Up here in Heroic, I expect less of those comfort-style bans, just simply due to the fact that these hero pools are going to be so much larger from these players up at the top of the game. So I kind of expect to see more of the Anubarak, Diablo, Johanna, for tanks. Maybe more of the Maiev, Zeratul bands coming early. Abathur, that's a good one. Of course, not necessarily his strongest map, but he's not bad on this one. Big 3-lane map where you're constantly forced to rotate to one specific area for the map objective, giving him the opportunity to safely body soak across the map. His mines can be very good to disrupt rotations and slow people down. Meanwhile, on the other side, Zeratul going to be the ban out. And with the Void Prism, he's been very difficult to deal with throughout the season. So much setup for potential wombo combos. And just in general, he's a very slippery hero to lock down. And the Sylvanas going to be banned away. So we've seen Sylv be stronger and stronger as the season has gone along with her rework, especially since people have figured out a little bit of talent diversity with her. She's become a little more versatile as people have discovered different talent combinations. But in general, she's just really good on maps like this. She's always been famous for being good at aiding in big pushes. And there's the Maiev ban. So both these teams letting all the tanks go through here. We'll have to see if Modo wants to get their pick of the litter. Anubarak and Diablo both available. Johanna as well, who gives you a little extra wave clear, but not usually prioritized as early as this guy. Anubarak going to be the first pickup here. His Cocoon, just so good in team fights. His ability to aid in the push with those beetles and disrupt a lot of the enemy abilities with those summons as well. Meanwhile, Garrosh and Anna are going to be picked up on the other side. We've seen quite a high priority on Anna since her rework. Eye of Horus is now legal once again here in NGS now that the bugs have been fixed. And just so strong and, again, versatile. We've seen a lot of nano boost plays with the grenade build that makes her so strong. But also, Eye of Horus can be such an amazing tool to use. Meanwhile, on the other side, Jaina and Tyrande picked up here. So good stun and damage follow-up with all of the Anubarak CC that we get. So it's going to be pretty potent to have to try to walk into. Band coming out here for Nsomnia. They do have... they didn't really have any kind of chokehold that they could apply, having their tank and healer. Modo's already got those, so... going to go with the Imperious band, so they're going to take out at least one of those solo lane options and then can choose between either picking up their solo lane here in this next rotation or waiting to the end to see what Modo picks up for that solo lane and try to counter it. And the Kerrigan ban out coming out here from Modo. So that one feels a little bit more like a target ban, and actually all three of Modo's bans kind of feeling like a triplet of target bans. Maybe not the Abathur so much. Sylv a little bit less than Abathur, but both of those are starting to become meta, even though they haven't been meta for a very long time. But the Kerrigan, a very map-specific hero, she gets a lot of value on the shrines. But we will see the Dahaka coming out, so it looks like Nsomnia was trying to just do kind of a backwards chokehold there on the solo lane position as they get their Dahaka, that nice global ability, and lots and lots of events on this map for Dahaka to brush stock into. Rainer going to be paired with that for the sustained damage on the backside. And now we got Tychus and Leoric coming out, so big percentage-based damage heroes that can kind of counter a little bit of this double tank front line that we're going to see with Dahaka and Garrosh. Also, pretty good mobility with the Leo on the front line, being able to Wraith Walk in or out. And looks like we're going to have Hanzo finishing up the picks here for Nsomnia. So a little bit more of a poke range style comp, looking to isolate a hero if they can with the Garrosh. Then maybe follow that up with the Tongue. If they can hit that drag on somebody that's just been tossed, they're going to definitely have enough damage in that backside to take him out, Hanzo and the Rainer. Could see a little bit of setup there as well from the Ana. Meanwhile, on the other side, it's just CC and blow up one target. That's really their whole thing. A little more dive forward for Modo, a little bit more isolate and backwards for Nsomnia. So we'll see who can kind of win this tug of war here on Infernal Shrines. Hanzo, of course, very good on the Shrine Clear post level 4, so by the time that first shrine comes up, these teams will be right around that area, level 4, level 5. So we'll definitely have those explosive arrows to get a little bit of extra value on the point. Of course, Leo and Jaina, no slouches in that department either. You even have a couple of heroes that are good at stealing a few of those away, like the Tychus with the grenade, if they need just a couple. Alright, who's on the potato? Hopefully it's not me. That's all I got to say. I'm okay as long as I'm not the potato. Alright. Well, let's get loading on in here to game number 1, best of 3 series here in the first round of the Heroic Division playoffs. On the left, we've got Nsomnia, we've got Battlejet playing the Hanzo, Wally Snit going to be on the Garrosh, French playing the Rainer, Jamster going to be on the Dahaka, and Psycho playing the Ana. On the right, we've got Modo. We're going to have Hedgie on the Tychus, King Dingo on the Anubarak, Savo playing the Tyrande, Roger is going to be playing the Jaina, and Kubiko is going to be on the Leoric. Alright, so going in to game number 1, both these teams are going to go ahead and rotate as 5. Hanzo finding a quick 3 stacks there on his simple geometry. Arrow going to scout them out. Finds one more stack with the next scatter arrow. Leo still holding on that level 1 talent. Let's see what he wants to go here. Globes, of course, coming out for Jaina. We've got the Beetle build started for Anubarak here at level 1. Make those things a little more spell-proof. Snit actually wandering into the bush here, taking a lot of damage, and there it is, ladies and gentlemen. First blood going over to the side of Modo. Nice response there. You'd think a Garrosh would be safe to face check, but not here in the Heroic Division, ladies and gentlemen. Especially with all the damage and burst that Modo has. They've got a decent amount of CC as well, but you know, with the Jaina and the Tychus with that trait, it's going to be very difficult for anybody to walk into Modo's comp like that. Even the Garrosh not safe. And well, off in the top lane, we saw Dahaka versus Leo, but Dahaka doing a little bit of the rotation, the double soak game. Gonna relieve a little bit of that rotation pressure for the 4-man so they can grab their camp in the mid. Meanwhile, camp being grabbed here in the bot lane. Modo a little bit faster on that first rotation up to their set of siege. So let's see here, the second set of Khazra coming out here for Modo. Meanwhile, Nsomnia just focusing on clearing here in the mid lane. Leo sharking around, thinking about where he might go. He's going to find Jamster up here, but Jamster will go ahead and pop the essence and look to drain a little bit of life. On the other side is Kubliko. Kubliko? Kubiko. There is no element. Meanwhile, the stun chain coming down onto Raynor. Yowza. That hurts. And Modo, really on point right now with their rotations. They'll get 2 early kills here as got a little bit of an XP lead. Nothing too ridiculous, but gonna give them a little bit of an advantage in this race to level 7. They get this level 7 talent train started a little bit early for this next shrine. Could give them the advantage they need to be able to pick it up. Meanwhile, both sides picking up their respective bruiser camps here. Shrine will activate in the bottom lane, but nobody here yet. Rotation coming in to the shrine. They're going to not pursue Wally Snit at the moment, but instead King Dingo just going to focus on clearing the wave. Meanwhile, the Haka is up in the top lane, so can try to aid their Shaman camp to push in a little bit in the top and can always brush Stalker down. But right now, it's a pretty good-sized lead for Modo. They have the rotation advantage here, so they're starting with a pretty strong lead. But of course, we do have explosive arrows now for Battle Jet, so he's going to be able to steal away some of these. But actually, yeah, it looks like Nsomnia is not even really going to try to actually... Well, actually, I take it back. Jamster does go into the backside. Brush Stalker is down. 2-man sleep hitting there. Wally Snit getting very low on the bottom side, though. Not going to be able to pressure in. And Modo, just too much of a lead on this shrine. They're going to pick up the Frozen Punisher to march with them here in the bot lane. Meanwhile, it looks like Leoric is going to split off, rotate, soak a little bit in mid, but mainly go up to clear up that Shaman camp in the top lane. Punisher is baited over the wall, and Unstoppable going to be popped there for Wally Snit. But now it's down, and in come the members of Modo. They're going to go ahead and pick up another kill. 3rd kill of the game now for Modo as they lead the kill counter 3-0. But we will see the Punisher falling. But wait a minute. Ana going to get CC'd and blown up. French in a little bit of trouble here as they have pushed way past the fort. French will make it back to the keep, however, and will be safe for now. Meanwhile, the rest of the members of Modo are going to rotate away and finish the work they started on this fort and take down the first fort of the game. So we'll see the occasional catapult spawning in the bot lane for the rest of the game here for Modo. About a level lead now for Modo as well. They'll get that passive XP, so barring any kind of team fighting situation, we should see them reaching level 10 a fair amount earlier here than Nsomnia. But Nsomnia will still have time to get level 10 before this next shrine, I do believe. Rydeen saying, isn't the bigger they are, perhaps not optimal? Oh, look out! Yikes! Raynor gonna go down. Perhaps not optimal against Garrosh. I am maybe against Garrosh, but you've seen these picks going on to more than just Garrosh as well. Plus, it kind of allows Jaina to save her burst damage. If Tychus can take down the first 2/3 of health, and then Jaina could just blow up the rest of that health through the armor of Garrosh at that point when he's got such high armor. That could be a good kill combo for a Garrosh, but yeah, I mean, I definitely see your point, but you don't want to be standing there forever with the other option there at level 4 with the longer duration on the minigun. But Entomb coming in. They're trying to catch somebody out, but Nsomnia able to get out of that situation. Retreating back to the fort safely. Level 10's now in for Modo. It is going to be the Starfall, Cocoon, Summon Water Elemental along with the Entomb and the Commandeer Odin. Meanwhile, Nsomnia getting very close to level 10, playing this very patiently, as you would expect. And they will get their own level 10s. Warlord's Challenge, Dragon Arrow, Isolation, Rainer's Raider, and Anna currently holding. We've seen Anna's go both ways. Actually going to go with the Nano Boost here. That Nano Boost for Hanzo? That means definitely not going on the Rainer. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the damage that comes in from Hanzo is ability-based damage, and the cooldowns, cooldown reduction could be good. So I don't see why not. It's just not something I see a whole lot of. Meanwhile, Simple Geometry going to be finished there with that scatter arrow. Yeah, no problem, Radine. Like I don't portend to know more than these heroic division players. Like I play in Division B, but I'll theory craft it, and I'll do it. But I don't. These guys know more than I do. That's for sure. Meanwhile, the Entomb coming in onto Wally Snake. Garrosh not going to be able to get out of that one. Dragon Arrow trying to zone a little bit there for Jamster. He will pop the Essence and be all right, but it's going to be a 6th kill now for Modo, just dominating in these skirmishes over and over again. And now they're going to be taking their advantage to the Shrine. Arcane Punisher will be popping here in the top lane. Meanwhile, Nsomnia going to quickly rotate away and look to try and get advantage elsewhere on the map. Psycho staying up here, poised to possibly bait this over the wall. It's a dangerous proposition. This gate is very low. No, okay, it's going to be Wally Snip that's going to do it. And pops the self-unstoppable, so it'll be completely safe. Psycho, just here for the healing. Just here for moral and literal support for Wally Snip. And looks like that's going to be all that they are going to get off of the Immortal before it gets to the keep wall. Will Modo pursue is the real question. Looks like instead they're going to rotate down and grab the Bruiser Camp. So I like that call. You're probably not going to get much out of the front wall here before the keep takes this Punisher down. 9-minute Punisher, not exactly the strongest entity in the game. Modo going to rotate to clear out mid very quickly. Dahaka pretty far out down here in bot, but just kind of passive soaking. Can always brush Stalker away. And the rotation is coming down, though. And there's a lot of stun interrupts for that potential Brush Stalker. Especially on a Nubarak, who is on top of Jamster. Hits him with the first stun. Burrow Charge goes down. This is where Jamster wants to try to get away, but the Entomb is going to come down. Then he will have to burrow to dodge that Lunar Flare. But looks like he did have the sustain to be able to allow the rest of Nsomnia to rotate down. Arrow coming in as they look to pursue this. They do have level 13, so this is a good fight for them to take as well. So they will be able to shove Modo back to the fort. With about this level lead, Modo really doesn't need to force anything unless they have a big man advantage. And right here they do. They find Wally Snit out, and boom! Tearing apart his HP. That hurts, man. Psycho being slowed. Psycho's going to be in all kinds of trouble. They're going to go ahead and pop the cocoon just to secure it. All 5 members going to group on this like they're doing a ritual or something. Paying homage to the gods of cocoons or something. Wow, Jamster back to the mid. Bottom camp going to be picked up for the side of Modo. And that's not a good sign. Looks like we got Bot Garrosh hanging around.
Welcome back.
And there he is. Wally Snit is back. Oh, Battle Jet eating a ton of CC. Not able to get to a wall to jump over in time. And Modo, man, they are just on point with these rotations. They are on the same page. In comes the Entomb. Wally Snip eating a ton of damage. Oof. Make it 10-0 for Modo as they roll on in to game number 1 here. First 12 minutes of this game belong securely to Modo. The question is, what can Nsomnia come back with here? What answer will they have as they head in towards level 16 with the front wall of the keep going to be busted down? You may notice that they secure this lane in particular because guess where the next shrine is activating? In mid. And we're going to see the Mortar Punisher marching into that mid lane for whichever team ends up getting it. Right now with Modo owning level 16. It looks to be them. But we'll have to see if Nsomnia wants to try to contest this. The answer appears to be no, so they're going to rotate around and look to side soak these lanes while Modo looks to grab this as fast as humanly possible. If they can get this shrine completed before the level 16s come in for Nsomnia, that would be a nice gain for them, but instead of doing that, they're going to go ahead and try and see if they can't get a little bit more value here. They have this Khazra camp pushing in the mid. They also have the first catapult about halfway down the lane right now. So if they can push in with this a little bit, they can really get the most out of this Punisher. Maybe even try to make this the end of the game. But look at the rotation in onto Dahaka. The Owl interrupts the back. They've got the stuns. Jamster gonna try and dig out, but gets hit by the web wrap. Ouch! The Cocoon gonna secure it for sure. They've got multiple stuns coming out of this. And Dahaka goes down. 39 on the counter here. And they're just kind of stalling for it. They will go ahead and pick it up, though, with 30 seconds on the clock here for the death timer for Dahaka. That's definitely the move they want to make. They're going to go down the mid lane here. And aggressive rotation, see if they could find anybody trying to step forward here. Also protects them from the possibility of a flank around the other side, but Keep is just going to get beat up here. And actually the stuns come down onto Wally, still not able to get that self-cleanse before that Punisher landed. Did eventually pop it, but by then it was kind of too little too late. You know, Punisher is baited up towards the top keep, but right now the members of Modo just looking to tear apart the core. The shielding is down 50% on the core. They're going to throw the web wrap down on Anna, and that is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. Game 1 going over to Modo here on Infernal Shrines. And looking solid, 12-0 for the final kill count. Just a very impressive showing from these guys. And I don't know, you know, I respect the bans from Nsomnia, taking away the Zeratul and the Maiev. Those are really big problems. But Anubarak, also a very big problem. We saw a lot of really strong CC chains initiated there by King Dingo. And, you know, you look at just the pure numbers. The big thing that stands out to me that you don't see in every division. Look at the totals between the number of kills gained by Modo and the number of killing blows and assists from all 4 members of the 4-man. 12 and 12 across the board. There was no split. Modo was running around as a 4-man. Every kill they got together. And that's why they're in the heroic division, ladies and gentlemen. Because they just play on the same page. And we'll give you guys one last look at these talents before we move on to game number 2. All right. Well, on we go to game number 2. Be interested to see what adjustments Nsomnia wants to make here. But Modo making a very good case there in game number 1 for that bid to go on and face the number 1 seeded Abusement Park. And that'll be played out in the next round this week. We got 2 games coming up this round. First one will be tomorrow night, right back here on the NGS channel all Heroic Division playoff matches will be here. And then later in the playoff process, we'll also be having the Division A semifinals matches and finals matches. And then for Divisions B through D, all of the divisional playoff, the divisional championship matches, and the grand champion matches will all be right here. So make sure you guys are following here on the Nexus Gaming Series Twitch channel. Get all of the biggest matches in NGS, including all of the the big regular season matches that we'll do as the big showdowns throughout the season. I felt like it was pretty good success throughout the season, what we were doing with the showdown, so we're going to bring that back for Season 7. The process for setting them up will be a little different, but we will still be having those feature matches right here on the NGS channel. But enough about Season 7. Let's focus in on what's going on right now with Season 6. It looks like we do have the lobby up. And we are going to be going to Towers of Doom. It looks like Modo with the map pick. So Nsomnia going to be would have had the pick there between first pick and map pick. So it looks like they selected first pick this time around, which is good. You know, it gives them the opportunity to take away. It gives them the opportunity to take away the Anubarak with that first pick if they still want to go with the Maiev and Zeratul ban. All right, and so Towers of Doom, a little bit different. One of the most unique maps that we have in Heroes of the Storm with the shot mechanics onto these cores. Wave clear, pretty important on this map. You don't want to be slow on the rotations is the main thing. Camp taking ability can be good. This is a good Sylve map. We saw that ban out early by Modo in game number 1, but she gets a lot of value here too, with that Merc Queen talent at 4 being able to empower the sappers to be able to push in. So we might see that ban coming out again from Modo, especially not having first pick. So if they really don't want to see that on the other side, that'll almost be a required ban. Another good map for Abathur as well. So we may well see that ban again. Looks like we got all 10 in lobby ready to go. Just make sure these teams are good. Towers of Doom is by far one of the funnest maps to cast as well. I really enjoy it a lot because it's never really over. You know, we've seen magnificent comebacks on this map, and as a player, it's a little bit stressful to play on, but as a caster, it's a ton of fun because, you know, some maps you can kind of see when it's more or less over, when the odds of coming back are just too great. But on this map, it's really never over until those last shots are on the way to the core. If you can build for late game, make it to the late game, and have that late game team fighting ability, you can win on this map no matter what the first, 30 or so shots were towards. All right, looks like everybody is ready to go. And now we're just waiting on the start button. There it is. Game number 2, going to Towers of Doom. First pick, first ban to Nsomnia. We'll have to see if they want to make any adjustments here. They could attempt to pick themselves up a Maiev or a Zeratul. Kind of force Modo into banning out those heroes if they want to try and get one or the other. They could also try to make that slight adjustment and try and get to the Anubarak, but the Diablo are going to be the first ban out here. correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think we saw Diablo picked or banned in that whole first game. Yeah, no, I don't think we did. It's pretty crazy because Diablo has been so present in the current meta, and Nubarak is going to be banned out by Modo, so we're going to get that out of the way early. And now comes the dance of the Maiev and the Zeratul and the Sylvanas and the Abathur, because at least 2 of these heroes are going to make it through. Only one of Nsomnia is only going to get to pick up one of them, so Modo is going to be left with the other one. They could even ban out a 4th option, like maybe an Ana or something else they don't want to play, and that guarantees that Nsomnia will only get one of those 3 power heroes. They do get their choice of the 3, however. So I don't know, lots of options here. There is the Ana ban. So now, what does Nsomnia want to start this off? There's just too many good heroes right now. We need like 6 bans. We need like 6 bans at the start, and then like another 4 bans at the turn or something, you know. Those could be for the cheese heroes like Samuro and Vikings. And so it is going to be Abathur. Now, of course, Abathur gets a little bit of extra value on this map because he's such a late game hero. You know, pre-10, when you've got an Abathur, you can't team fight hardly at all. And, you know, you just have to give a lot of the time. Plus, rotations are so important on this map. The Abathur Mine's good for not only slowing enemy rotations, but showing enemy rotations.
None shall flee my grasp.
So we'll see the Maiev being picked up for Modo, along with the Dahaka. So Sylv gonna make it through, but looks like they're not too worried about it. I don't know if you could take Abathur and Sylv. She's a good backline damage dealer, so I guess I don't see why not, depending on what your comp looks like. You take 2 frontliners and a healer with that. But they're going to go with the Jaina, who of course is an excellent ultimate evolution target. And Johanna going to be there as the tank for that front line. Going to try to deal with the Maiev. It's going to be basically a triple front line here for Modo, because they're definitely still going to get a regular tank with what they have so far. So they can be pretty aggressive against this Abathur comp. P. Jamster on Pajaba. Okay. On the Pajamathur. So we'll see Lucio banned out for the side of Modo. But, that makes sense. You don't want to see super scary Jaina coming at you at full speed with the Lucio speed boost. And bold move, Cotton. Nsomnia not even gonna ban. Like, we don't need it. You guys have whatever you want. Worth noting also, the Lucio with a symbiote hat is very annoying to deal with. So, that's a good ban out. Meanwhile, we've got Arthas and Malfurion here for the side of Modo. So, good potential CC follow-up. Not to mention the blow-up potential. Begs the question what that last pick is going to be. Be interested to see if it was something that's countered by the Arthas, like a Greymane. Plus, it also, that having that Arthas as the good counter to Greymane kind of deters that from being the option for Nsomnia. But really, yeah, they needed kind of a solo laner anyway. So they get the Malthael, who can do the double soak on this map very well between top and mid with that on a pale horse. And then, of course, also Stukov, going to be the 5th pick here for the side of Nsomnia. And now Phoenix, going to be the final pick for Modo. Kind of pairing the Savo with the slows from Arthas. So, we'll be interested to see how effectively they can do that this time. The 4-man, of course, was incredibly strong from Modo on the last time. And again, this time they have kind of this pick comp style with the Maiev tether, all the CC follow-up from Arthas and Malfurion, and just a lot of damage from Phoenix. All right. Of course, Towers of Doom, definitely a big rotation-heavy map. The globals here can be very strong, so Modo will have a natural advantage on these map objectives with the Haka, particularly the triple altar phases, where they've got the ability to rotate from top to mid pretty quickly, or bot. But either way, let's get on into game number 2. We've got Nsomnia on the left. We've got French on the Abathur, Jamster playing the Malthael, Wally Snit going to be on the Johanna, Battlejet on the Jaina, and Psycho going to be on the Stukov.
The battle begins.
Meanwhile, on the right, we've got Modo, Savo going to be playing the Malfurion, Hedgie on Phoenix, Kubliko on the Dahaka, Roger going to be playing the Maiev, and King Dingo going to be playing the Arthas. Taking a look at these level 1 talents. Oh, wait a minute. Wait on those level 1 talents, because both teams going in. 3v5, though. Nsomnia going to back away from that pretty quickly. Jaina soaking in the bot lane, though, able to push that wave out pretty fast. Now, up at the top lane, Jamster is on top of Kubliko. Gonna port in, and we'll get the kill there with the Abathur hat as well. Damage coming in from the symbiote, but at the end of the day, Jamster gets the kill over the wall. First blood going over to Nsomnia. Looks like right now it's gonna be a 1-2-1 split. We'll have to see if they want to change that, and there it is. Looks like 3 members going to be rotating down. And wait a minute, the cutoff here from Modo. We're going to say no to this rotation. Wally Snake getting pretty low. We'll pop the Iron Skin, though, and be able to make it out. Getting out of the root and the tether and, I don't know, the slows from King Dingo and all of that CC. Wally Snake will flashlight over the wall and find the members of Modo lurking, grabbing their camp. Pretty even so far on the level advantage for both of these squads. Nsomnia maybe winning a little bit in the soak game, while Modo winning in the camp XP game. Really the big difference in XP right now is that first kill up in the top lane. Jamster on the rotation now, doing the double soak, but Dahaka looks to be doing the same thing here. Rotating potentially away from where all these mines are going to be. Meanwhile, on the bot, 4-man will be able to push in these sappers. First set of sappers got cleaned up, but this one definitely going to make it and take out the gate. Meanwhile, the rest of the members of Modo going to focus on the wall. You'd love to see the aggression here early onto an Abathur comp, because for the most part, Nsomnia just doesn't have the bodies to really be able to respond to this pressure. Jamster picking up the camp up in the top lane with the help of that symbiote hat. So that'll be pushing while this objective is up. Kubliko and Jamster gonna posture on both sides and look to cap. Meanwhile, Modo just gonna go ahead and get the free cap in mid. No need for the members of Nsomnia to try to get that, but Psycho gonna get the heal onto Battlejet. Root still goes down, and the tether as well, pulling him back in, and Jaina's gonna go down. Modo scoring their first kill of the game.
The Raven Lord
Very
will
well done
fall
there.
before me.
Jampster back on the rotation game once again. And really, for the members of Nsomnia, they're just kind of biding their time until level 10 comes in so they can get Ultimate Evolution. Should be pretty well, both teams should be pretty well on the verge of it by the time this next objective pops. Definitely would be better for Nsomnia if they had the level 10 in time, considering the fact that we've got the double altar phase coming. But that's kind of why Nsomnia would have loved to see a little bit more of a stall there on at least one of those 3 altars. Of course, not the one that they got in the top left, but if they're able to stall that out, it goes on a little bit longer, and they have a little bit more time to get 10 before the second objective comes up. Either way. Camp stolen away here by Modo. They are just owning the bottom lane right about now. And, you know, I take it back. That was a very short counter. I must have thought I was on Volskaya Foundry or something. It was a very, very short timer in between map objectives here. Altar's already going to be up. Nowhere near level 10 is Nsomnia, so ideal for them would be trading here. Getting just one of these 2. The Haka is still in top, but can brush stock down. Both teams looking to posture over this bottom altar. And actually, Psycho going to be the first to get in there and start casting. And Modo in a rough position here, trying to get through on the other side, but taking a lot of damage on the backside of that is Roger. Dahaka will cap up in the top, though, and now will come down to make it a 4v5, but Psycho gets the cap off. Nice zoning there from Nsomnia. So again, that's ideal. They traded. They're going to stay just 4 behind here, as Abther pushing up in the top lane with that symbiote hat, getting the extra soak of value. Got a little bit less than a half level lead right now, with more minions to soak up on the field, so should be about half a level. Dahaka going to rotate up to top. Meanwhile, the invasion coming in here from Nsomnia. This is a 4v4 with the Abathur hat available. So the members of Modo will actually have to back off and concede this Pumpkin Sapper camp. And one is going to make it through to the turret as well. The other 2 tanked and baited by King Dingo into death there in the mid lane. Level 10's now coming online for Nsomnia. Still about half a level, but Modo will have them in plenty of time for this next objective. Single altar spawn in the bottom lane will be the next one. Oh, meanwhile, look at this. They're going in deep after Dahaka. Burrow should be able to get him out, though. He'll pop Essence. Unstoppable popped on the other side. That Iron Skin from Wally Snip. Meanwhile, in the bot, they are going ham after this fort, and they are going to get it here, too. They should be able to secure this in time. The only question... Oh, I take it back. They are going to have to back off of it. Nice job there with the symbiote hat, giving it a little bit extra health. And, but they do not have the mule at level 7. Now, both teams with level 10s will be able to come down here.
Be swift.
Dahaka actually rotating up to top, looking to get that one more wave, but will come in onto the backside. Savo coming out on the other side. Meanwhile, Last Right's going to take down King Dingo to start this off. Battlejet getting incredibly low, trying to kite back. Doesn't make it, almost makes it out, I should say. Hedgie able to get him with that long-range auto attack burst. Final kill there. Jamster getting very low, gonna have to back up. And Modo exchanging 1 for 1 here, but should have the position as Ultimate Evolution. Did it even get popped in that? Oh, yeah, it did. Okay. For a second there, I didn't see it on cooldown, but there's a little error with that. Oh, but look at the huge Blessed Shield coming in. We do see the cap coming in for Modo, but they lose Phoenix on the other end of that. Big silence coming in from Psycho as well, so nice combination there between Psycho and Wally Snit to keep him locked down in that silence. Back and forth we go here. But overall, an 8-point lead here for Modo. as we head into the late game. A little bit under a level lead now for Nsomnia. Let's look at these level 10s, as we've got both teams now having heroics here. Action still all over the place, but Summon Water Elemental along with the Blessed Shield, Flailing Swipe, Last Rites, and Ultimate Evolution for Nsomnia. Meanwhile, Modo going with the Twilight Dream, Purification Savo, Army of the Dead. Wait a minute. Isolation coming in on the backside, actually missing onto Battle Jet. And there's the containment disc there, I named them all. Going in onto Johanna. Meanwhile, the tether coming out, but the stun is good on the other side to keep him in place. The tether not going to activate. Look out, Johanna goes down. Nice turn there, but not quite enough to find any kills onto Modo. And what a time for them to get that pick on Johanna. They're going to be able to quickly grab their camp here and then rotate up for this double altar spawn. Johanna will be up just a few seconds before these altars spawn. We'll still have to run back here. Let's take us up into God mode view here so we can see all of the action coming in for this. Kubliko on the other side, able to cap the stall. The first stall comes out from Modo. Will they get a second? No, they will not. So we'll go ahead and trade here. I think that's a good trade by Modo. You know, ultimately they don't need that second one here. They don't want to get overly greedy and give Nsomnia way back into this game. They're already a little bit ahead on level, so we don't really want to give them that ability to come back. But meanwhile, Brushstalker to the bot. They are going to find Jaina out here. The silence goes down, but a big flailing swipe from Psycho. Going to get Battle Jet out of there safely. Wally Snit, though, in a little bit. We'll have to pop the Blessed Shield, and meanwhile, Roger getting very low. Gonna have to back out there on that Maya. Kubiko going deep. The Savo just barely missing Battle Jet, but does find the Haka. That's on the other side, I should say. Meanwhile, Jamster is rotated down. Last Rites gonna take out King Dingo. And now, on the wrong side of this are a couple members of Modo. This will be activating. This is going to be their tower, but it's not really going to matter all that much. Maev's still going to go down. It will give Hedgie a path out, but wait a minute. Now Jamster's here with the Abathur hat. Now Hedgie is just in the wrong part of town. Look at Nsomnia. They are coming back in this one. Finding a very cheeky little team fight there. Good positioning overall. It's going to give them the path to be able to get this bottom bell tower back. So all of that work that Modo had done kind of erased there. Triple altar phase spawning as well with Phoenix on a massive stagger there. Still 10 seconds until he's going to be available. So we'll have a couple members positioned into bot. Jamster already capping top. Kubliko is going to cap top right uncontested, it looks like. Actually, that is going to be really close on the mine. Not fast enough on that mine placement there. Oh, but look at the collapse onto Stukov. Modo coming back with a vengeance. So they're going to end up capping 2 out of the 3 of these. And get themselves a 12-point lead now on the core health. Level 16s are in for Nsomnia, but Modo should be able to even that out before the next exchange. Especially if they can get this bottom bell tower back. A little bit of a seesaw here on Towers of Doom, but Modo getting the better of this exchange. And now Wally Snip coming in with that Abathur hat. That symbiote's going to get stronger and stronger as the game goes along. Full symbiote build here from Abathur.
I'm open to my tunnel as well.
Meanwhile, Sapper Camp will be cleaned up here in bot by the members of Nsomnia. A little back and forth here in mid. Not going to amount to much. The Haka rotating up to the top camp. Going to try and take that, but wait a minute. Malthael is rotating up. Jamster is up here with the Abba hat. I'm going to try and go in on him, but instead is just going to turn and I'll actually get to this camp before it fully leashes, so have a little bit of extra damage on that. Multiple members of Modo still here in bot. Not going to try and push the issue as Nsomnia rotating down. And containment disc not quite able to find Wally Snip there. Stuns and CC is good, but the Iron Skin is better to get him out of that. Early Water Elemental pop as well for Battle Jet. That's going to get blown up before we can see this really come to anything. Meanwhile, with that pickup on the Sappers and top, this top bell tower is in a lot of trouble. French trying to push that in with the body soaking and the symbiote hat. Meanwhile, King Dingo gonna pop the Army of the Dead, but it's not gonna be in time to save him with that silence coming out from Psycho and the last rites. Jamster getting very low on the backside as well, trying to stay alive. The symbiote comes out and it has kept him up for now. Phoenix goes down on the other side, and wait a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Nsomnia with a 4 for nothing. Right when they needed it the most here, they get the top cap from Abathur. And this is what you like to see out of a Abathur comp. Winning these late game team fights, getting additional bell towers with the slow but steady pressure of Abathur side soak and those little minion spawns. And now an almost 3-level lead for Nsomnia as well as they look to cap this bottom bell tower. And with multiple members down for Modo, they are going to get this. Jaina really, really strong on the siege damage. Will be able to take this down with ease. Now all of a sudden it's a 6 cap in the making possibly here for Modo. They're going to be able to grab the Sappers and try to force these in bot. Trying to come in onto Hedgie there is Wally Snip. Well, get the 3-man condemn. Make it a 2-man. Roger dodged that with the vault. Oh, but a big root coming in. Hedgie gonna have to port out. That's level 16 upgrade on the numbing blast, almost enough. But the 2-man pull in from the tether there from Roger into the kill zone there. And we'll still see a couple of those shots going over the line there. 2 more points for the side of Nsomnia. They're now back within 4 here on the kill counter. Dahaka trying to get this, but actually is going to take a ton of damage. We'll have to burrow away. Still takes another shot. We'll have to pop Essence. Meanwhile, look out the cap in mid. And suddenly we're going to see shots starting to fire. It's going to be 1 extra shot. While Psycho caps here on the backside, and this is going to be close. The cap comes in, and the shots will go over. It will count as 6 before that bell tower gets converted. So now 12-9 in favor of Nsomnia. They're coming back here on Towers of Doom, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, Slexia, thank you very much for those 69 bits. I appreciate it. NGS always appreciates the support. Meanwhile, Modo going to lose the bottom bell tower once again. They did convert mid and top back. And are getting close to their level 20s, so they can look to try and take a fight here soon. Nsomnia rotating 1 up to the top. A couple members back to grab the Sapper camp on the left side. And I think Modo trying to posture to defend or maybe try to take boss here while these get converted in bot. This would be a 4 for 3-point trade. And Jamster's got to be careful here. King Dingo looking to rotate to maybe try and CC him, but there's not going to be enough follow-up there. He did have the self-cleanse proc. Meanwhile, shots are going to go over the line in bot. And they actually have another 6 coming out as well. And it's going to be a rough position here for the side of Modo to try and get to this bottom altar. They have to rotate up through here, so Modo knows where they're going to come from. Dahaka, of course, can still brush Stalker down. Everyone still has all of their heroics up, so everything going to come down to this. Modo can win with a cap here. Or I should say, Nsomnia can win with a cap here. And Arthas is the first to fall. Zabo coming out on the other side, but Malthael, the second to fall in this team fight. So Malthael will come back there. No one can stop Death. But look at Nsomnia. They're going to take the full 5-man team fight and get the final cap to win here in game number 2. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going to game 3 here in the Heroic Division playoffs. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break for these teams, give them a little bit of a breather, and I'm going to take a little bit of a breather myself. I will be right back with game number 3 here in the Heroic Division. All right, so before, excuse me. Before we get into game number 3, let's take a look at that match summary for game number 2. Battle Jet with just a massive amount of teamfight damage in that game. Nsomnia forcing us here to game number 3. And just kind of all over the place in the early game there for both of these squads. But once level 10 came in, Nsomnia started to fight back, and they scaled a lot harder into the late game, and were really able to win it where it counted in game number 2. Coming back with a vengeance and kind of a thrilling finish there. Able to win that team fight big time. Now it looks like we are ready to go. Lobby is up for game number 3. Or we're about to be ready to go. At the very least. Looks like side of Modo going to get first pick. So upon losing that second game, they get the choice and they'll take first pick. And we're going to be playing game number 3 on Tomb of the Spider Queen. All right. Yeah, Battle Jet really played well there. Taki's on it. Well, the numbers were pretty stellar. But overall, just a really patiently played game by Nsomnia. You know, they were willing to trade, willing to give early if they needed to. Very, very patient play overall. And the big turning point was kind of that fight over the bottom bell tower. Modo converted it, but then they were kind of out of position. So they were kind of waiting for it to spawn. Maybe hoping that it would spawn fast enough to aid them in a team fight, but Nsomnia, they dove. They got overall, I think, 4 kills off of that exchange. It was kind of staggered, but it was really great to watch. It was fun to watch. And this match has been really great between these two squads. It'll be interesting to see who can win here on Tomb. Just waiting to make sure both of these teams are ready to go. After a big series like that, I think everybody needs a little bit of a breather, you know, after those 2 games before you go into a third. I know I did. Either way, Tomb of the Spider Queen, of course, a massively important wave clear map. Camps don't mean nearly as much, but as you get into the higher levels of play, I would say that, you know, teams can get those camps to kind of leverage pressure, force rotations, you know, that kind of thing. So not completely zero influence value with those camps, but mostly here it's about the wave clear. Those rotations can be big. Vision could be very nice to be able to know where the enemy team's headed, where they might be trying to turn in. Of course, poke value, to be able to deny these turn-ins on Tomb, so important.
New follower detected.
Ray, thank you very much for the follow. That's over on my channel, by the way, so I appreciate the follow even while I'm over here on the NGS channel. But taking a look at these bans to start, we've got Sylvanas banned out for the side of Modo. Nsomnia going to take out Zeratul. And pretty strong map for Sylv. Again, you know, any kind of big pushing mechanics, she's just able to aid those so well. So it's worth taking them out. If it's worth taking her out of the draft, if you're not willing to first pick it. She's not a really big first pick right now either, I don't think. There's so many good things out right now. Anubarak, Diablo, Maiev, Zeratul, and you see the Ana ban from Modo because they want to leave Anubarak and the Maiev on the table. They'll likely take, I should say, whichever Nsomnia doesn't pick up. So the Anubarak off the table. Now, I would guess Maiev, but no, they're actually going to take Johanna. So instead, prioritizing the strong tank. And the wins have kind of gone with whoever had the better meta tank so far. You know, in the first game, it was the Anubarak for Modo. The second game, Anubarak banned out, Johanna picked up by Nsomnia, and now Nsomnia going to go back to the Garrosh, which they played in the last game. And they're also going to have the Jaina. Looks like they have French on the Jaina right now, but of course they can switch if they want Battlejet to be back on that Jaina. Meanwhile, we'll have Modo picking up 2 more heroes here. Still have the Maiev available.
It's
I'm going to let it go, though. We're going to see Tychus and Blaze coming out. So we saw in Game 1 the Tychus as that kind of counter to Garrosh, and that not only that high health pool, but also the being able to chew through it and allow another burst damage dealer to kind of finish off Garrosh with the... you know, when he was at those low percentages of health with the high amount of armor. Meanwhile, Gul'dan going to be banned out here by Nsomnia. So getting rid of a little bit of wave clear option. They have the Jaina already. So I like that call. Plus Horrified, just so difficult to deal with in a lot of these games. Yeah, interesting that Nsomnia just dominated a macro map, but then picks Tomb next, says Kime. Yeah, I agree. I think, I don't know, it'll be interesting to see how they handle this, because, you know, Shrines was a tough game for them in game 1 with the Garrosh, so it kind of seems like history almost starting to repeat itself in, you know, what is again a pretty heavy wave clear and rotation map, more based on the team fighting and those rotations to try and deny the objective, whereas Infernal Shrines is all about those high-end objective moments. So, I don't know, we'll see if that's enough of a difference. Meanwhile, Malthael going to be picked up here for the side of Nsomnia, along with the Malfurion. So, good amount of CC coming out overall from Nsomnia between the slows and that root now. Whitemane coming out from Modo. That's a big surprise. And the Alarak being finished up here for Nsomnia. Also Kael'thas. So Kael'thas, a hero that I don't see as much in Heroic Division, which is pretty interesting. But good follow-up damage, and again can be that final bit of burst damage you need once Tychus has put Garrosh at low health. Also good spread damage, which Malfurion's okay at dealing with that kind of AoE spread damage, but the Alarak going to be very good follow-up to the isolative tools that Nsomnia has with that Garrosh, that toss into Groundbreaker, into Root. You know, that burst damage you get from the Alarak can be a good follow-up. Meanwhile, Malthael likely going to be the solo lane for Nsomnia, so I expect Alarak to be up in the 4-man. But either way, it should be an interesting one. Blaze going to be in the solo, so good wave clear coming in for Modo between Blaze, Johanna, and the Kael'thas. Blaze, of course, will be in the solo lane, but still, a lot of good clear for these Webweaver waves. All right, let's get on into game number 3 here. We're going to see on the left Nsomnia looking for that sweet reverse sweep. We're going to see French on the Jaina. We're going to see Psycho playing the Malfurion. Wally Snit going to be on the Garrosh. Battlejet on the Alarak. And Jamster is going to be playing the Malthael. Meanwhile, on the right, we've got Modo. Roger going to be on the Kael'thas. Kubliko is going to be on the Blaze. King Dingo going to be playing the Johanna. Hedgie on the Tychus. And we're going to have Savo on the Whitemane. Both teams going to go ahead and rotate directly into the mid lane. See a little bit of a 5v5 here. Talent's pretty standard across the board. 2 Globe quests coming in for Modo. So they're going to be prioritizing the globes on these rotations. Silence coming out from Alarak there onto King Dingo, but able to turn away, and Jaina going to be taken out. Wally Snit also taking a ton of damage. So hello, Modo. Ouchies. First and second blood right away. The aggression coming in hard there. A couple more globes as well in the top lane for the members of Modo. Jamster rotating up, trying to help in the clear department before going back down to the bot lane, where we will see that solo lane matchup beginning. Roger up to a quick 5 as he rotates through here on this globe quest. Like the back and forth here in the bot lane as the solo laners kind of checking, see if they can maybe turn in a few of those gems. Rotation up to the top lane. Hedgie going to stay nice and careful away from that rotation. Savo going to go ahead and toss a few into the turn-in on bot. Jamster trying to find a cheeky turn-in here, but Kubliko is around. Battlejet trying to find the combo onto King Dingo, but not quite able to hit the mark there. Both these teams just kind of slowly making their way towards the turn-in count that they need here. Couple gems turned in on both sides. Looks like Jamster did get that turn-in on the bot he was looking for. Meanwhile, big rotation in from Jamster, but actually going to end up finding monsters lurking in the bush. All 5 members of Modo getting in on that one. Youch! French pushing in the top lane, but a few missed minions going to be only a small boon as they lose that solo lane pressure down in the bot lane. We're actually even going to see Wally Snit coming down to try and get the soak down here. A couple members of Modo going to go ahead and rotate around and grab their bruiser camp. 36 gems in already for Modo. Having the stronger rotational game early, but also getting those kills gives them the room they need to turn in. But now that Modo's on their camp, nobody up here to defend against the turn-in on both sides here from Nsomnia. So now they're going to take a bit of a lead in terms of which gems are turned in. They do have enough, but all 8 of them are on, or no, it's just 5 of them on Jamster. French was holding on to 3. Rotation up to the top. They might be looking for French here. Sabo does throw out the laughing beam. King Dingo having all 6 that Modo needs for this last turn-in. But Wally Snit is in there, ready to try and enter. Oh, but Wally Snit taking a lot of damage. Going in deep, trying to get the Kale Boss out of place. Does manage the toss, but is going to pay with his life for that one. French going to have 1 poke onto King Dingo to try to deny the turn-in. But that is going to be the first turn-in of the game. Webweaver is going to come out for Modo here.
Join the red ones in battle.
Garrosh will be back up in time for this defense, but with the level lead that Modo has right now, should be interested to see where they come out on the back end of this. They've got good siege damage due the members of Modo. King Dingo gets tossed into the fort area though. We'll be able to back away though. Iron Skin always good to get out of a sticky situation. Meanwhile, actually, we're gonna see Blaze rotating up from the top or from the bottom. And we're gonna see the 4-man push in here with this Webweaver. Meanwhile, up in the top, Hedgie just trying to kind of zone French away, denying the easy clear. So fort front wall goes down in the mid, and the Webweaver gonna get a decent amount of damage onto that mid fort as well. Bottom lane was cleared out pretty well. A little bit of damage to top, but overall good defense by Nsomnia. They didn't lose too much there. Still nearly a full level until we'll see Modo with their level 10s. But Nsomnia's got to be worried about being a little bit behind on this. And look out, they're jumping in onto Blaze. Does manage to proc the cleanse, but still gets pulled back after. And nice block there on the charge out. Wally stood eating that charge, but look out! Hedgie and Roger coming in on the top with the flank. Ton of damage there. Hedgie actually gets tossed in there by Wally Snit, but Battle Jet eating a lot of damage. Tychus will go down, and somehow Nsomnia manages a 2-for-1 exchange out of that, and now is actually diving in after Sabo. They've got him slowed. The telekinesis and the silence going to be enough. They're going to get Johanna as well. So now Blaze coming back to life, but that does end up being overall a 4-for-1 exchange. Huge value there for Nsomnia. And exactly what they needed. They're going to get the turn-in off the back end of that as well. Worth mentioning that all but one of those gems are going to hit the floor for the members of Modo. And now level 10's in for both teams. So Heroics coming in hot. We're going to see Warlord's Challenge along with, wait a minute, Tranquility coming in, along with Last Rites and the Summon Water Elemental. Meanwhile, we are seeing Alarak just hold. Modo going to be coming out with the Scarlet Aegis, Drop Bunker, Blessed Shield, Pyroblast, and the Odin. So pretty standard over on that side. I'm interested to see how this works out for the members of Nsomnia without the Twilight Dream. Give them a little extra sustain at the very least. The bottom fort does go down for the side of Modo. Meanwhile, Nsomnia going to rotate up to mid and look to try and finish off a little bit of damage that the Webweaver started here. So overall, you know, good defense by Modo. So both of these teams giving up the map objectives, but having pretty good turn-ins for this first set. Or having pretty good defenses, I should say, off of these turn-ins for the first set. But the big thing is those deaths wiped out a lot of gems for Modo. They are a long ways away from their second turn-in. Meanwhile, Nsomnia's already got the gems in pocket. Just need to slam them in. Wally Snick going to get that started with 12 in the bot area. Camp picked up for the side of Nsomnia. So they're going to have a little bit of extra pressure here in mid. Force Modo to choose whether they want to try to clear in the mid lane or try and deny the turn-in. King Dingo actually gets tossed, but we'll have the Iron Skin out. Pyroblast being popped on the Wally Snip, but that's not going to be enough to finish him off. But a ton of damage coming down on the Blaze. He's going to have to drop the bunker. Jamster getting low. Last Rites comes out, but Kublico gets in to the bunker in time, but pops out and will end up going down there. Sabo getting very low. Whitemane tossed out of place. And so it ends up being a 1-for-2 exchange in favor of Nsomnia. And they are going in for more. Groundbreaker foot comes down. Wally Snick getting a little bit low, but we'll be alright for now. Worth noting that Tranquility wasn't even used in that exchange. Roger trying to deny this turn-in here. King Dingo going in pretty deep. Does have the Iron Skin out. Battle Jet will get the turn-in. Or at least those 10. Not enough for a full turn-in. Oh, but look at the chase. Hedgie getting caught out here. The Warlord's Challenge is going to come down. They're going to get Tychus, Johanna, and Blaze. 3-man kill for Nsomnia once again, as they are looking strong going into the late game. They have been on the same page for the last few minutes in this game. They're not even going to bother with the turn-in. Modo can't threaten with a turn-in of their own, so they're just going to rotate up, grab this camp, and then they can send French down to try to turn in solo. It's worth noting that Modo is going to see this rotation. Could be a little bit dangerous. They send Wally Snit out to try to zone, just to try and keep him safe here. But we will see the boss being picked up in the top area while French gets that turn-in in the top turn-in area. Boss finally does end up going down here. And now Modo maybe trying to look to engage past the boss. You just see Battle Jet telekinesising away. Psycho gets hit by the just barely surviving there from that Pyroblast. So close there. Last Right's going to come out onto Johanna. Johanna falls. Maybe could have been the drop bunker to save her there, but it's a little bit late to be able to save the Joe from that last Rights. Does manage to help Bublico get out, but they're pushing in past the fort here, going after Roger. Nice CC coming out from Whitemane. They actually turn and get the kill onto Jaina. Kel'Thas is still going to fall, but now Psycho getting low is going to have to try to walk away here. Worth noting that, though, the top fort goes down and mid fort starting to take a bit of damage here from the mid Web Weaver. While all this is going on, the waves are amassing in the other lanes. The boss and the Web Weaver up here in top, starting to beat down this top fort. The front wall is going down. Nice stun combo coming in there onto Hedgie. Battle Jet's combo into Psycho's root, into the taunt there from Wally Snit. Tychus falls. Mid was cleared out. Bottom lane under a little bit of pressure here. Blaze should be able to clear this out before it takes it down, but top keep goes down 100%. And bottom keep is going to survive with a little bit of health. Some may call it sneezable. Oh, and look out, Blaze. Actually charges the wrong way. Oh, no. Oh, you hate to see it. Last right's even going to be used just to get him a stack onto that last rights. And I question where Blaze was rotating there. I mean, the bot wave was pushed in further than that exit. Bruiser Camp will be stolen away by Nsomnia, and now they'll look to push in and try and finish off this bottom keep. Should be an easy grab for the members of Nsomnia. And the question becomes at this point, what can Modo do to come back in this situation? I think it's going to be a bit of a rough ask. We're going to get to level 16 at some point here in the near future. We've got all 5 members of their team back up. They are way out of range for another turn-in still. Big kind of a rotating door of gems hitting the ground for Modo. Camp's going to be picked up on both sides of the map here for Nsomnia. Level 16 coming in slowly but surely for Modo. We'll deny it a few gems from Jamster turning in here. They will get level 16. Blaze continuing to deny Jamster on the bottom end of this. Roger also rotating in. The toss in onto King Dingo, but now that toss combo is down. Iron Skin is going to be popped. Malthael gets blown up there. Tranquility will be popped, and now they can look to try and turn, but it looks like for right now they're just trying to escape with Wally Snip being slowed by the oil there. Hedgie did pop the Odin, so it's poking on the backside, and French is going to fall. Pyroblast, which was canceled earlier, going to be popped onto Wally Snip. Not going to be quite enough damage to take him down, though. And for now, it looks like it's just going to be the 1 for 2, and that's exactly what Modo needed. You know, I mentioned how can Modo get back into this game. This is pretty much the only way. They win team fight after team fight, try and get a little bit closer to being even on levels, and then eventually secure themselves some turn-ins and maybe the boss later in the game, but really need a lot to go right for them at the end of this game if they're going to want to take Game 3 and the series. But Battlejet coming in, 2-man combo on a couple of squishy members of Modo. Meanwhile, on the wrong side of this team fight, Garrosh actually goes down, but King Dingo going to be exchanged off of that last rights damage, and then some finishing damage there from Battlejet. I actually didn't see Garrosh being so low there, but that big combo onto Savo and Roger had me a little bit worried. While we will see the end gauge here, Water Elemental being popped and chasing down, trying to get to Blaze, or actually trying to get to Tychus. So they will be able to zone them back, and it looks like turn-in is going to be mostly secured here by Battlejet. Just need the 3 more from Psycho. The Water Elemental just kind of there zoning. He's just hanging out. No big deal. And we will see the Web Weavers coming in now for Nsomnia. Both members of each team that have been lost now coming back up. Garrosh a little bit further out here as the Web Weavers start to float on down the lanes. Mid-fort will go down as the Web Weaver drops right behind it. Looks like Modo going to focus down the top wave first. Nsomnia going to push in big into the mid, though. They've got the Web Weaver and all 5 members here. And they've got pretty good siege damage as well. A nice wave from the Web Weaver. Going to take out most of the minion wave as well. Odin going to be popped on the backside. Good counter siege potential here from Modo. So there is an opportunity here for them to try and poke down the members of Nsomnia and try and clear this quickly. The bottom wave is pushing in, but oh no, Tychus left the game. That's not a good time for a DC. Uh-oh. Well, we will take a quick break while we try and get Hedgie back in here. Confirmed by the members of Modo that that is a DC, so get him back in and we'll get going again. Level 20 just now achieved, though, for Nsomnia, so they could look to try and turn and try and force a fight here. But I've seen teams come back pretty strong from being down, you know, 1 keep, 2 keep on this map. The Web Weavers are not a very strong map objective. It's not very good for ending the game. So really, it's good for taking down structures, and not very good at taking down the core itself. So it'll be interesting to see if they can come back. But if Insomnia gets that 3rd keep here, it's going to be very difficult for Modo to come back at all. All right. So no update yet as to where Hedgie might be. Haven't really had much time to take a look at these talents this game. Right of Rack Shear coming in for Battle Jet, so pretty confident that they can get those kills throughout the game. And it's been a bit of a bloodbath, 14-10. Taki, I'm rooting for both sides. This is a win-win for me. It's been a great series. You know, if nothing else, you always love to see these big matchups go to a game 3. And these teams seem pretty evenly matched, you know. But right now, Insomnia has been playing great in this 3rd game. But we're 17 minutes in, and as we all know, the last few minutes of the game often can turn the tide over what's happened in the first 17 minutes. You know, you win 1 or 2 of those late game team fights in a row, and all of a sudden, it's just a completely different ball game. So we'll have to see what Modo has up their sleeve here. They've still got a little bit more than a level to get here before they have level 20. But they do have enough gems to be able to secure the next turn in if they can manage to get 20 without dropping any more of these gems and try to get back into the game. Worth noting the boss is up right now, and the Web Weavers have just fallen. So we'll have to see if Insomnia wants to try and push in for the keep or try and back away. Maybe try and make a boss play, try and force Modo into something here before level 20. Either way, I can't wait to watch it. I'm dying to watch the end of this match, ladies and gentlemen. But the DC, I don't know. Taking a look at these talents builds, 34 globes right now for Kael'thas, so he's gonna have some nice shield potential there, as that mana pool gets larger and larger. Pretty much all the quests finished except for Extended Lightning. I was sitting on 2 of 3, so hasn't quite found that 3-man yet. Last Rites sitting at 3 out of 10. So he's been stacking that up a little bit, but not quite there just yet. Otherwise, you know, pretty much what I would expect. It's actually a Northern Exposure instead of the Numbing Blast coming in from Jaina. So no roots, but instead that extra 20% damage. That's that armor shred. But Wintermute coming in as well. That's just such a strong combo. Alright, looks like he's back. Let's get back into this game, boys. I want to see who's going to win. Alright, both teams have confirmed that they're ready. Just waiting on the countdown to begin. I've got it queued in. I'm ready to jump back in. Yeah? That would be you, Savo. I cannot unpause. Yeah, I don't have it. I'm just a spectator. I'm just a spectator. Huh. I typed in observers no, but I don't have another option. Ooh, what did I do? Why am I focused on Joe? I don't want to be focused on Joe. Yeah, I'm not the ref, so I can't unpause it. All right, there we go. So right away, we are going to see the members of Nsomnia backing up, stealing away the camp. So this will be pushing in mid, and this is what they're going to try to use as their shield to protect them as they go in after this mid keep. Like I said, I've seen a lot of teams come back from being 1 or 2 keeps down, but it's pretty hard to come back from being 3 keeps down. And it looks like Nsomnia trying to go after that. And actually, Modo, recognizing that, is going to go ahead and charge in 4-man condemn into a 4-man stun. Pyro onto Jamster, knocking him down to pretty low health, but he will make it out for the moment. Tyke is actually falling on the back side of that. 2 French gets hit by that flame strike, but Wally Snit actually takes the living bomb stack off of that. So it ends up being a 2 for 0 exchange in favor of Nsomnia. Blaze also falling there. So it looks like this is actually going to be the possibly the end here. Nsomnia trying to go around and finish. They are a little bit low health here, but I don't know. They're going to get on to the core. Counter-Strike coming out. Now going to back up just a little bit. King Dingo getting a little bit low. Gets tossed and will be taken out. And it looks like that is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. Nsomnia going to step in to the core, taking it down. 24% health left. They turn on to Kael'thas and take him out for good measure. And that is it. Nsomnia taking the game here, game 3 here on Tomb of the Spider Queen to win the series over Modo. They're going to get themselves that sweet, sweet ticket into round number 2 of the playoffs against Abusement Park this upcoming week. And BattleJet again with the impressive numbers up on the board. 3-0 in the kill counter, but mainly the 55k damage. French doing pretty much the same on the hero damage though, with 55k as well. And we'll give you guys one more look at these talents before we move on to an interview here. Let's see if we can reach out to Jamster, see if we can get an interview. All right. Hop into a lobby here and pull somebody up in for an interview. Let's see who we're going to get. Kael'thas, of course, dealing a lot of hero damage as well. Actually, highest in the game, but overall, not quite enough to turn the tide there. Let's see. Who are we getting in for an interview here, boys? Red Rover, send anyone over. And here we are. now joined by Battlejet.
Hello.
Welcome, sir. Carrying the team in 3 games in a row, at least from the stat sheet point of view. Very well done. Nsomnia taking this 2-1. How are you guys feeling right now after that big series?
It's pretty good. Yeah, we had a good time. It took a bit to like kind of get the engine going, but yeah.
Yeah, Modo did a great job coming out in that first game. Had a really disgusting looking CC chain comp, and just kind of ran rampant in game number 1. Tell me a little bit about your guys' comms during and after that match, and how you guys were able to keep your composure going into the rest of the set.
So we were just kind of out there, and we just got snatched up, so we felt sad. It was unlucky, but we kind of like looked at like what the problem was and how to like going forward, just kind of like put it behind us mostly. So yeah, like it's in the past. Like you just gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah.
So then you guys come out in game number 2. Towers of Doom was a wild match. And especially with the Abathur comp, late game you guys seem to come on a little bit more powerful. But tell me a little bit about your guys' experience in game number 2.
Oh, so game number 2, early game, they get whatever they want. Like we're just like, okay, you could have our camp anytime. And that's something that they had to Haka, and we had Abathur. There's no contesting that. So it was just damage control early game, and then late games when we could actually like put pressure and start invading and do stuff like that. So.
And then looking on this whole series, and after the fact, it kind of seemed like a seesaw where early power for Modo, kind of a medium back and forth fight, and then you guys seemed to dominate in this last game. How much of that do you think is comp based, or how much do you think of it as more like momentum based going into that game 3?
I think it's a bit of both, since our comp is like kind of heavy pick. So with Alrak, when he gets 7, he gets the extra range on his TK, and that really lets put pressure on like the squishies in the backline to just kind of like combo with the Garrosh and like the mouth to just isolate people. So we're mostly like waiting for 7, and then after that it's like the snowball on like Tomb is pretty nuts. So yeah, we're just kind of fishing.
All right. Well, one other question I have for you guys, looking into this next round, you guys have Abusement Park coming up, the number 1 seed here in round 2. How are you guys feeling in your matchup against these guys coming up?
It's gonna be fun, So it's a fun game. So I don't know, just excited to play,
Well, there you go.
It's good times.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming in for the interview. I appreciate it. It was a great set from you guys. Very entertaining to watch. But before we let you go, do you have any shout-outs you have?
I'd like to thank the Academy. I'd like to thank I'm not sure if you saw it, but the parting of the Red Sea at the very end. It was with the Alrak charge. It was a little funny animation. But I'd like to shout out enemy team. That was really well fought. It was a fun game. And yeah, shout out the rest of my team. They boosted me. Carries. So
there we go.
It was fun times. Oh, and thanks for casting.
Yeah, absolutely. It was really fun to get to do, and congratulations on the win. You guys definitely earned it tonight, and thanks for coming in. Have a good night, man.
Yeah, you too.
All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for me tonight. Thank you very much, everyone, for showing up, watching this excellent Heroic Division playoff match. We're going to have more Heroic Division action coming for you guys tomorrow night. We have not yet picked a caster, so it is not too late for all you casters out there watching to apply. Just go to the NGS website, look at the calendar. There's a link right there on the match. But this is going to be 5 p.m. PST tomorrow night. Revive Esports versus Celeb Gaming. So it should be a really good series to watch for tomorrow night. And it'll be right here on the NGS channel. So don't forget to follow here and keep checking out the channel for more of these epic playoff matches as we head in towards the end of Season 6. And, of course, I would be remiss if I didn't shout out our Patreon. It's not too late to get those end-of-season rewards, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys go and check out the Patreon, you can see all the different tiers of rewards that they have set up. There's lots of different ways and amounts that you can support NGS over there on the Patreon. So check that out and support NGS if you can. It really helps us run this league quite a lot. And also want to give a shout-out to the YouTube channel. Don't forget to go over and subscribe to the Nexus Gaming Series YouTube channel. We've got a lot of great content coming up, along with a new episode of Nexus Edge coming in very soon. And as Rydeen just did, don't forget to go over to my channel as well, Jason Hots, and follow there. I'll be casting a lot of matches as well here in the playoffs, and then also probably doing some replay casts to keep fresh in the off-season. So always feel free to check those out. And that's going to be it for me tonight, guys. Thank you very much all for watching. And for the Nexus Gaming Series, I am Jason. I will see you guys next time. Have a good night.